Hello, boys and girls. How are you guys doing? Happy Sunday. Okay, guys, y'all know we had a whole conversation going on offline. So that's why I'm on 10 right now. Because it's, first of all, it's Sharon C. Cooper. So, I'm always
Stop.
fangirl when I see Sharon C. Cooper. Not only that, I got my girls hanging out with me, Tiffany Jones of Tiff's Happy Place, MidnightAce of MidnightAce Book Bar. Y'all know it's going down. We gonna spill some tea because the three of us, we are super, super fans of author Sharon C. Cooper. Hello, guys. Hi, author Sharon C. Cooper.
Hey.
Well, guys, you know how we do it here. First of all, let me just tell you, we're gonna be talking about Committed. Y'all know we love the Atlantis Finest series. This is Lives and a Journey, boys and girls. And if you are just tuning in, you already know what to do. Like, tag, and share. Tell a friend, grab their tea or their beverage of choice, and come and hang out with us as we talk about these amazing characters in this amazing story. So, of course, where we're going to start off, we're going to allow each person to introduce themselves, boys and girls, tell us what they're wearing today, what they are drinking on today, and share off their literary mug as well. So, boys and girls, we're going to start with MidnightAce, a book bar. Midnight, introduce yourself to the people. What are you drinking? What you wearing, girl?
I'm drinking coffee. And this is a MidnightAce Book Bar original. Y'all, this is before we got a new construction. So I'm rocking all my original stuff today.
Hey!
And this right here is my behind the scenes shirt. This one didn't make it to print, but this
It should have. I love it.
I know. So I didn't. So I pulled it out. So I'm rocking all the originals today for the book bar.
I love that. I love that. And boys and girls, before the show is over, of course, y'all know that, MidnightAce got to tell us a little bit about her store and what she got going on and all that good stuff too. So we will definitely spill the tea on that as well. All right, my friend Tiffany of Tiff's Happy Place, you're up next.
Hey guys, I'm doing Car Chronicles today. If you guys have been following me, you guys know how I do. If I ain't in the house, I'm in the car. So I'm doing Car Chronicles today. Today I'm representing the Philadelphia Eagles because it's football season, and what better way than to celebrate wearing the gear. I know it's not bookish, but it's my bookish today. And I have my favorite new Starbucks mug because everything's studded. I'm trying to work on more of my collection. I have an insider, so we'll see how that goes. And I'm not drinking anything today. I'm on my P's and my Q's.
Okay.
The book was not heavy enough.
That is true.
Well, author Sharon C. Cooper, you are up next, my friend.
Okay.
Introduce yourself to the people.
Okay, I'm author Sharon C. Cooper, and I'm wearing, I have to make sure, I'm wearing my romance author t-shirt.
Okay.
And I forgot about the tea that I was supposed to be drinking. Actually, I drank it about an hour ago. So right now I'm drinking water, but I'm drinking out of this tumbler that my mom and dad got me for one of my birthdays or something. And it has a picture of me like from 40 years ago.
Oh my goodness.
So that is so cool.
Yeah. And yeah, something about daughter. And so
that is so water. Cute. and look, and Sharon C. Cooper, tell us about this hair, girl. It is cute. I've been seeing these posts. I said, "Ooh, look at sister girl."
Yeah, decided to rock some braids for a little while.
But
it looks good.
Bit,
I love it. I love it. And of course, they are chiming in. They're giving us some love. Hello, Ruby. Thank you so much for joining us today. Boys and girls, we got Myra Cook hanging out with us as well. They are telling us hello. We got Veronica hanging out with us. Of course, guys, Mama Tony hanging out with us
as
Mama
well. Tony.
Yes, I love that. I love it. Well, guys, I'm your host, Angela Anderson of Angela's Literary Tea. Today, I am rocking my Riches in Reading t-shirts, okay? Because what's this month? This is October. It's actually National Book Month or something like that?
Yeah.
For this month.
Yeah, and breast cancer.
And yes, and it's Breast Cancer Month as well. Today, boys and girls, I am drinking tea. Of course, y'all already know I had to pull out the Sharon C. Cooper mug. Don't get jealous, boys and girls. It's the Atlanta's finest. It has let's see, vindicated, indebted, accused is what's on here. And it says Meet Atlanta's Finest, a new series by award-winning and best-selling author Sharon C. Cooper. So of course, guys, y'all know this series has been, it's been going on for a while. Or what have you. And today we are talking about Committed, which is Last and Journey. Tiffany has hers on her Kindle. I have mine on my Kindle as well. I have the print copy too, but the Kindle was faster for me to grab, so that's why we're gonna chill with the Kindle today.
Yep. Here's the print.
Yeah, and look at the print copy. So Sharon, before we get into it, let's go ahead and talk about this cover. Let's go ahead and talk about the cover. Let's go and get that. Let's go and get that out there. Tell us about this cover and this individual on the cover.
Okay, so this story is Lazarus I just for the life of me just forgot his last name. Demas.
Yeah.
And this is actually Laz's second story.
Yeah.
Because I get so many emails about Laz, I decided to do like a Where Are They Now story for him and Journey. They're definitely what seems to be one of the favorite couples in the series. I probably won't do too many. I don't know if I'll do any more Where Are They Now stories.
Okay.
But I had to do one for him because I've had readers that ask if he'll be. One reader, I'll never forget this, said he should be in every single book I write, Yeah. I mean, those are the type of emails. People love him. And I never thought when he was created. What'd you say?
He kicked us off with a bang. He was in the first book. And it was like you almost forgot about Hamilton because he was just so, right in your face kind of person.
Yeah.
Yes.
It wasn't intentional. He just kind of, his character just kind of just goes there.
Yeah. I love that. And Midnight and Tiffany, feel free to jump in as well. And I know we're talking about the cover. What for you? First of all, I know whenever Sharon C. Cooper do a cover reveal, it's like I'm all in. Okay, I'm all in. But then to see this amazing cover and to find out that this story is about Laz and Journey, what was you guys first? Your first take when you saw this cover? Midnight.
Well, you know what? What stuck out with me was how he was all dressed up. So now he's gone from being that detective on Atlanta's Finest. Now he's in the family now for them. And I thought, how cool and sexy he was on there. Okay. But I had to read the book to find out, did he get rid of his old ways? Is he tamed now? What's going on with him? So that was like that. Okay, I see the suit, but is he still the same Laz?
So do you think do you feel he's the same Laz?
Oh yeah. Yeah. But you know what though? He did, you brought him down, a little bit of the spice there.
He did tone down.
Yeah, because he's a family man now.
He's a parent now. He has a daughter.
Right.
Yeah.
But then
it's almost like for Laz, it's like, I'll say it this way, like it's still there. It's one of those like, don't push me.
Yeah.
Like, like he can tame it until, certain circumstances, like, what? Okay, y'all asking for it. Okay. Y'all want that Laz? Okay, I can give it to you. I can deliver. Okay. Yes. Oh my goodness. Sharon, I want to start. Of course, we have to start a little bit at the beginning because we're spilling the tea, but we're talking about this amazing story as well. I gotta put this one on. Mama Tony said yes with all capital letters.
Yeah.
I love that. And of course, you guys know how we do it here. If you have a question for Sharon C. Cooper or any of us, or if you have something about the book that you definitely want to make sure that we talk about, put it in the comment section. We'll be sure to include you as well. Sharon, I like the fact with this series, and Midnight and Tiffany, feel free to jump in, and not just with Committed, but with all of the books in this particular series. I love how, like, in the prologue, how you like paint the picture of like what's going on. Now, Sharon is, go ahead, Tiffany.
If you know me, and Sharon, you may remember, I don't read prologue and epilogues. However, for some reason, I was intrigued to read the prologue.
You know,
oh my God.
It's funny you should say that, Tiffany, because I'm not a fan of prologues. Normally, I wouldn't put them in a story, but lately I have found that I've needed them for some of these Atlanta's Finest books. But personally, I usually don't enjoy reading prologues. I don't know why. I love epilogues, but prologues, I just have never really enjoyed them, but I've needed them.
I didn't realize that I was reading the prologue until after I finished, and then it said chapter 1. I was like, wait, I read the prologue? Oh, snap.
But it's like, bam, there you go. Like, it's like in these prologues, she'll be holding it back. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
But you know, for me though, I do read the prologues, but they're not as important to me. But the epilogue is important to me because usually I'm just like, I got that last little piece of the end of the bread I got to get in, so the epilogue is set for me. But I usually, if it's a really anticipated book for me, I will read everything. Like I will read the acknowledgments, I will read the prologue, I read the copyright information, because I'm like, oh, I can't wait to get into this.
Okay, so Midnight, now I don't feel so bad because I'm that girl. Like literally, I'm reading the back blurb. And then, and if it's a hardback, you know, the blurb is on the, you know, on the inside cover. But I'm reading the blurb. I'm reading the acknowledgments. I'm reading the dedication. I'm reading the author. If it's historical fiction, I'm reading the author. I'm reading everything. So when I say I read a book from cover to cover, I literally read it from cover to cover. Wow. So for me, I am a prologue girl. I'm an epilogue girl as well. But for me, that prologue, a lot of times is, you know, sometimes if you skip the prologue, you might be a little off a little bit for me. So that's why I'm like, okay, I want to know everything that's going on. But with Sharon C. Cooper, guys, let me just tell you, you don't want to skip her prologues, okay? Because she's gonna leave you with a cliffhanger. You're like, what the what? And then she's gonna jump right in. And then Sharon, we're gonna talk about this prologue, but I don't know about Midnight and Tiffany. I was like, okay, chapter one, bring on the spice hot tamale train.
You just went right in, and I'm just sitting there like, am I reading? What is this? What is this I'm reading? Like, I was so thrown off. I didn't know what to do with myself.
I was like,
normally I would not start like that because I don't necessarily enjoy books that start like that.
Oh, it worked for this one. It worked, boys and girls. It worked.
Hard to
it was
believe,
like I needed
Sharon.
it at that moment. I needed to have it in the story, like right there. So,
well, you delivered. You delivered.
Well, I don't know, Sharon, if what you just said is so true, because because can we go back to before last's book? I don't know what you've been doing. Like the committed, I mean, the Atlanta's Finest has been on 10 the whole series, right? Yes. It started with last, so it started off with a bang, right? And then you gave us Dakota with that motorcycle, and I'm loving all of that, right? And then she was a stunt person. So I was like, I was loving that. So you started us out with a bang, and you kept it going. But I don't know what you did. You might have thought you needed some more spice in that series because, geez, man, I don't know what you was. The bodies in the trunk, and then you got last about to, you know, him and Journey. Let me tell you the one. Let me just say this. I know I'm jumping, but let me tell you this. So I expect a lot out of Last anyway, and he brings it, right? He does not disappoint. But when I tell you, you had me biting my nails when him and Journey was having that tension. My God. I was just like, oh no, she better not do this. Because, you know, I didn't know what you was doing. You was like bringing intensity and stuff. I didn't know what you was about to do with them, you know? But yeah, I don't know. You've been spicing it up a little bit. I don't know.
That's good to hear.
But Sharon,
I didn't realize that.
Let me just tell the people, even though chapter 1 was like on the hot tamale train, the realness of it for me, like, because y'all know when you got a lot on your mind, like, even though she was enjoying the moment, but she had like stuff on her mind about, you know, their
she was in and out of the moment.
About this position, about, you know, because there was some tension there, you know, for them or what have you. And even on the part for their daughter, for those that have younger children or what have you, I mean, even like all that part where it was this, you know, or what have you on this hot tamale train, the realness of it, I like that as well. And it still didn't interfere with the spice, but you was able to still feel and relate to the realness of what was going on at that time or what have you. And then if we kind of move a little bit, you know, that was supposed to be, you really painted that picture. That particular day was supposed to be like a family day for them. And you really start to see that, you know, Journey, you know, she's been canceling stuff or what have you. And when it gets to the point where, you know, she ended up canceling because she needed to go talk to a witness, Laz was like, and then, you know, when her investigator came to pick her up, I mean, the brother was real. He was like, okay, you spend a lot of time with him. Are y'all?
Mind you, this is
I'm trying to keep it G.
Moments.
I'm trying to keep it G.
Had their moments.
You know, he was like, okay, are y'all, you know, hey, what's up? You know, what have you? For Midnight Tiffany, talk about that. Like, you know, this man that he really, you know, talk about that moment, because I was like, oh, he go there.
I got pissed. I was like,
oh, we going there?
Moment ever, and then you just flip, and it was like Jekyll and Hyde. I was like, whoa, man, relax. Was I not
were you team Journey in that particular scene, or were you team Live?
I was, because I was like, you already knew how this was going, and then we just shared the best moment ever, like so intimate and intense, and then you flip the script on me, like, how do you do that? Like, what happened? What
Sharon, it seemed like Tiffany took this personal.
But you know, for moments like that, Tiffany, I kind of have out of body experiences, right?
Okay.
Because you know you're reading fiction, right? But like you said, the realism of it, and then I find myself wondering, like, what will a real couple do in this moment like this? And, you know, I had to be reminded after this, too, because at first I was like, I was on the fence with them, who our team was, right?
Yeah.
I was kind of Switzerland most of the book with them, because they had different points of views that you really had to consider. Like, but then Lash knew who Journey was from the very beginning. Exactly. So let's not forget about that, right? But then, you know, something has to shift in a woman to the point where you have to be able to balance that out when you have a child and when you get married, right?
Yeah.
So even though Lass knew who she was, but you still have to change a little bit when you become committed to a relationship like that. And I don't really think either one of them did. They were just so happy to be together that they did not take into consideration of their careers, because Laz was very committed to his career too, before they got together too. And it was interesting how you had the father not be the one, you know, who was engaged in the family, and the wife was the one who was the career chaser. You know, not that doesn't happen, but you know, it was interesting for that, because both of them were a power couple. When it comes to you know, the justice system, they were a power couple. So I teetered the edge with who our team was, but I will tell you though that her partner
Prentice.
I started to watch him, because I wasn't like, okay, is he friend or foe here? Because like what is going on with him? You know, so yeah, but I you know, like I said, that the whole relationship with Journey and Laz it consumed me that entire book. It
Yeah.
consumed the entire
That's
book.
good.
Yeah,
I'm glad to
yeah,
hear that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And Sharon, one
I
thing
was
that I
definitely
liked about their story, again, and Midnight hitting on it too, is again the realness of it.
Yeah.
Like again, you do have an out of body. Like you have to remind, okay, this is a fictional story. No, the way that you wrote it,
It
I
was
mean,
real to me, damn it.
You feel invested.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That out of body
And
experience.
you felt invested in Laz and Journey's relationship, and
Right.
you know, it was like, man, oh, okay.
Right. Because it was funny, like from the first book, how he pursued her so much, and it was to the point that he was a puppy dog in the first book.
Yeah.
And you know, he really, really wanted her, and she was like, I don't have no time for your shenanigans. I don't have no time for you. I'm doing me, right?
Yeah.
And so it was really good to sit down and say, oh my gosh, not only are they're together, they have a child, so now they have this family, and you know, Lass is kind of retired a little bit, you know, so woohoo, right? And then comes with this thing. I just, if I could just take a moment, like let me just take a moment and here. If I can't find it, like real, I had it here, but I kind of went in and out of my book. If I can't find it, we'll keep talking. But it was the time when I think if he was in the hospital, out of the hospital, and she must have said something to him. And when I tell you, he said something to the fact, and I'm paraphrasing it till I can find the thing. He says, "You have got a nerve, talking about you have not been present in this family for a long time, and how dare you tell me that you're gonna leave?"
Ooh.
When I tell you, those words was like somebody had a stun gun on me, because I was just
Yeah.
like, like, oh my God. And then I'm like, oh my God, what is gonna happen next?
Yeah.
And then when he decided to, you know, separate, I was like, I wanted to call you and just say, please, for the love of God, do not break them up, because that would just destroy my whole world. But it was going that way again, that out of body experience with the realness, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh
And boys and girls, put in the comment section. I mean, was you team Laz? Was you team Journey? Were you team both? Like, keep them together. Do share with us. And again, if you have a question or a comment, put that in the comment section too. Okay, Sharon, I know we just kind of like gave you a lot. Can you unpack that a little bit of what your thought process were when you were kind of?
I was just writing.
Them.
I was just writing. When I like with as far as Journey being the one who's working the late hours, usually with many of my stories, I try to do the opposite of what's expected, just because it's more fun to write that way. And based on the feedback, I might have got a little carried away, because some have said I had them all in their feelings throughout the whole book.
Yes, ma'am.
So some of the things you guys are saying, I've heard, you know, which I love, you know, it might have drove you guys crazy, but I love hearing it, because whether good or bad, when you can have that type of effect on a reader to where they, you know, they're ready to toss the book across the room, and then they hurry it up to pick it back up so they can see what happens next.
Yep.
Or they're wanting to cry one minute and falling out laughing the next. Or, you know, when you can kind of pull those type of emotions out of a reader, then I've done my job there.
Yeah.
The feedback was amazing. You know, some said, if you do anything like that again to Last, you know, especially that one scene where it got a little, you know, hairy for him. Yeah, that one. I took some like, if you ever do that again to Laz, you know.
Yeah, but you know what though too, I do like the fact the other on the flip side of that one scene there, I do like the fact of although almost little bit too late, I like how when the ladies of the Atlanta Finest, when they come together, like I love the whole Atlanta Finest for not for what they do, but for the bonding that they have. You know, and it's like a family in all itself. And when they took her under her wing, and then she just finally just said, because sometimes that's what we have to do. We can't do everything on our own. And sometimes we do just have to reach out to somebody who's doing it and just say, hey, how did you do this? Because I'm screwing it up. And basically when she let that all out, I was like, okay, thank goodness. Like, you get it now. Come on.
Yeah.
Let's pick up these pieces, right?
Yeah.
But even to the scene at the beginning of the book when they were in the kitchen getting ready to leave for the party, and then she broke the news to him like, babe, I can't. I know it's supposed to be family day, but I can't go. I got work. Holy hell. Like, I thought he was going to blow the house up. How dare you? And then he started cussing at her. I was like, baby's in the other room. Whoa.
Yeah, but she shut that down real quick.
She really did. Like, but I love the connection that they had, that they both caught each other when they were going too far.
Yeah.
That I appreciated, because that shows a true connection to the people that they are and the relationship that they made with each other.
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes the both of you can get hot-headed and not be able to calm the other person down or shut them down to listen to you.
Yeah.
But I feel like he just couldn't release the fact that she had a larger picture in mind, and she just didn't know how to juggle family and what she wanted. And instead of him helping her, he wasn't helping her. He just kept telling her what to do, and it sort of really threw a monkey wrench in it.
Yeah. What do you think though too? You know, if maybe Journey would have, because they did have that bond where they could go to each other and talk about it. And you're right, Tiffany. And I think that is one of the things that maybe held them together, because in real life, if you don't have that connection or the understanding, they wouldn't have made it that far. Let's be real. But
they were committed.
True. And which was a great title for them, because had they not been committed, that there wouldn't have been no Journey and Laz.
Right.
But I feel like and again, this goes back to, people probably will cut me up for this because I'm always like the redemption part. But when that happened, Tiffany, he did go overboard, first and foremost. He did. But I took it from a perspective of, we have to think in our imaginary mind, how long has this been going on? Like, if you think about when they got together, when that first book was, until now when they have gotten together, like, how long has she been doing this? And like, for anybody, whether it be in Laz or Journey, when we set family time, even though you already know the responsibilities you have for your job, if we already had this set, knowing that you have these responsibilities, you carve this one day out, and then somebody, call you. And then how dare that guy call him when he knows that they already having trouble and that she had a family. So in a way, I understood where Laz was coming from, but I do think he just kind of took it too far. But, he was angry and in the moment. So I feel like he was just at his wit's end. At that point.
He was blindsided. The morning was starting out great. They had these great plans. He had, and then all of a sudden it's like, hold up, wait, what? You're not going?
And then not to mention, though, he was going to be with the rest of the families too. And how many times had he had to make excuses for that? So now how is that going to look for him?
Yeah.
Here is him and his daughter again solo, and Journey is nowhere to be, where to be found. Yeah.
And that's what I was thinking too, Midnight. Like, it kind of was like, he was like extra about it, but I think too, it was kind of like a build-up. You know what I'm saying? Like, she had canceled so many times, and kind of like you said, Midnight, it's like, okay, now I got to do another, I got to make up something else for her. It's like, okay, enough is enough. And then sometimes, like Sharon was saying, how he was blindsided. Sometimes, okay, if you add that it's been building, and then it was almost like, okay, he was just at his wit's end, and it just exploded at that moment. Like, okay, you know what?
and then too, I think about, so we all of this happened. We in our minds think about, okay, and what you heard what I said, this is what I felt like. And so now she's gone off, to do her work, and then they're gone off to the family day with everybody. But here's another thing that happened too. So And then I feel like had she been there, maybe she might have got hurt, because this is him leaving. She could have been hurt, right? But then another time when he flipped off was right after that, because now they're in the hospital, right? And they can't get a hold of her.
Yeah. And so he didn't know what to think.
Right. Yeah. So here we got a double cheeseburger going on right now. So,
a double cheeseburger
with bacon, right? So I don't know. I mean, you had us all over the place with this book, man.
Yes.
Yeah. I was in my feelings because I loved Laz so much, and I love Journey too, because I love how she was like this boss chick, right? Like I love how you had these chicks, and all of them were in their own right. They were who they are, right?
Yeah.
But I think just Journey just needed to reach out. I think at some point she had to realize, like, okay, you're a little bit over your head. You need to find out, okay, other people are doing this, so nobody's trying to take you away from what you need to do. But you need to find out how to balance that thing. And we all had that problem. Look,
yeah,
I got it now.
And I guess the next question that I'll ask all three of you guys, and you can think about how you want to answer. When you think about the book as a whole, what was one of your either favorite scenes of the book, or one of those scenes where it was like either clutching pearls? Like, what was a scene? I know we'll let Tiffany go first, but what was like that scene for you? Tiffany, we're gonna let you go first, girl. We're gonna let you go.
So, when they took a little bit of a separation for 24 hours, and then they realized they couldn't sleep without each other, and she was in the bed, and he walks in, and oh my God,
that was a good one. That was a good one.
I'm sorry.
I like that one too.
In that moment.
I couldn't keep them separated for more than 24 hours.
Yeah, they wasn't gonna let that happen. They wasn't gonna let that happen.
And I like the fact that it was only 24 hours, because it was like, you know what?
I don't even know if it was a full 24 hours.
It wasn't.
It wasn't.
She didn't even make it a full 24 hours. It was like, okay.
Yeah.
And she was laying there, and everything, like every time he wants to be mad at her, there's just something about her that brings out this animalistic feeling to him, and he's just like, I can't stay away from her. I love the smell of her. I love the look of her. I love the touch of her. Everything about her he loves, and she makes him weak, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Tiffany, Antoinette says you tickle her with your book scenes excitement.
Like, me too. I know this answer. I know, pick me.
Yes.
And it's funny, I never would have thought about that scene as being one of your favorites.
Why not?
Yeah,
I hadn't even thought about that one.
Yeah, that
I'm sorry that hit my heart personally.
I don't know. I had a lot of them in there, but I want to say, well, my favorite one, my all-time favorite one was when he had said, what he said when he was about to walk, leave her, the separation. But another favorite, and again, there were many of them, but another favorite was when she finally had was with the girls and stuff, and they had that bonding moment or whatever. I was just like, I love this. And I love the fact that these girls did not judge her. And they just said, hey, we've been noticing that you've been absent. And then, but she was like, well, how do you do it? And then they was like, it's not easy, right? But here's some things, right? So I like the bonding moment with the girls.
That's cool.
What say you, Angela?
Right?
She always putting us on the spot. What say you, Angela?
Really, Tiffany?
Yeah, really, Angela.
I'm kind of like Midnight. I had several. I'm trying to say which was one of my I don't know if it was my like favorite scene, but I guess kind of going back to that moment in the kitchen, I just think for me, just the realness of that, like at the very beginning,
it was raw.
Yeah, just the realness of how the book started. And then when you get to that kitchen scene, for me, I think just with the whole book, I think that is what kind of hit home for me, that even though this was a fictional story, I think the part that made it even more enjoyable for me was the realness of what they was going through emotionally, to make their marriage work, and to know that it was rough there for a little bit, if that makes sense. I don't know if rough is the word I want to use, but not only that, with her, like Midnight said, when he met her, she was a boss. Does that make sense? And then the same thing about him and her career. And so then being having to choose, really, or feel like you have to choose. And then even as y'all know, I got to go here, even as a woman, y'all know, just being a woman and being powerful in your career and stuff like that, and being a mom and being a wife and all those things, and have to be able to balance those. Even though, and sometimes it's like she was taking it a little too far. It was like, girl, okay, look, I need you to choose right, but learning to find that balance. So I think when that happened in the kitchen, because for me, when he asked her that, for me, especially when, you love your spouse, in my mind, it's like, did he just ask?
He went there.
Yeah. That was literally my reaction. Like, did he just go there? Oh, we going, this is what we doing. Okay. So like I said, I don't know if that's one of my favorite scenes, but that's a scene that kind of like really, it just hit like, ooh, but anyway.
I love that when she was in the car with Prentice before she got intercepted, that she had to tell Prentice what was going on at home and how he responded to what she told him. Yeah. He was like, are you crazy? That man adores you. He worships the ground you walk on. What do you mean?
Yeah, he thought it was hilarious that she was even
and
concerned.
She was like, how are you laughing at my pain? How rude.
Yeah. So.
I don't know. But then that other scene too, when after Laz was in the hospital and they couldn't find him, and who was that? Was that Anthony that actually? Who was the guy? Who was the one from Atlanta's Finest that actually tracked her down?
Oh, Kenton and Miles.
Oh, Miles. Yeah. Okay, Kenton and Miles.
Yeah, because actually they tracked her down as a group. Actually, that probably was one of my favorite scenes. Yeah, when they just kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
so, when they intercepted her.
Yeah.
They cut the siren off, and they were like, "What the hell? Where's my gun?"
Could you picture it? When I was writing, it was like I really felt like I could picture it.
Well, wait, I was reading it in front of my mother. My mother was like, "Oh my God, are you gonna cry? What's wrong with you? What's going on?" I'm like, "It's the book. It's good." She's like, "Wait, do you have a print copy?" I said, "No, I don't."
Yeah, that
I was so
Look, Sharon, I feel like we're gonna have to get Tiffany's mom a print copy.
You got it. I'll make sure I get one to her.
But you know what? When they came in for her too, this is what another one of those out of body experiences, because I really didn't know what was going to happen, because the whole thing with the Prentice, it was like they don't know him, right? Like she knows him, right? And then
Laz knows him. Laz knows him.
Laz does.
He was just mad,
Yeah, but then they were mad too, because I think they felt like she was just out there lollygagging and didn't know. But what was the thing? I can't remember. What was the deal with her phone? Why couldn't she?
They were in a dead spot.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. And she had turned off her phone because a lot of people were working that weekend and they kept calling her for questions. And she was like, I can't. I need to focus.
Yeah.
So she turned off her phone. And so the phone was off and they couldn't track her because she was in the dead zone. So it was a multitude of things.
When they got out that car, that reminds me of something that happened a long time ago with my sister and my brothers.
What?
My brothers don't play about the girls, right? No. And when they roll up on you, you better be like cautious. And that was one of those things that I kind of went there. I had a flashback when they rolled up on like that car.
Sharon,
you had the good cop, bad cop.
You wrote that roll up.
Yeah.
Yes.
I enjoyed that scene because it was like I could totally picture it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was my favorite, but it was a fun scene to write, though.
But when I looked at it, when I was reading, I was like, are they rolling up on where the actual accident happened, like what transpired to Laz and the baby, or I didn't realize that was just somewhere totally different. So I had to pause for a minute to
Okay.
realize. Yeah, because I really thought that they were rolling up onto the scene, not realizing that.
Gotcha.
Oh, and then let's not forget about the name escapes me. What is the detective? The mouthy one. Lord, honey.
I cannot remember his name.
That one right there, I was just like, you are way out of your league, my man.
I don't know why I can't remember his name. Seems like it starts with an R.
He was like, and then him, I thought at one point, I thought when Laz and Journey was kind of having their little thing, you know, how you have to be careful, like you have to be careful who you let in your circle and what's going on. And when you're having issues, you can't let everybody know. So they kind of knew anyways, but I thought, is he gonna roll up on, try to push up on Journey? Because you gonna
that wouldn't go well,
right? But
you don't want to do that.
and I felt like there was a height difference between him and Laz. I felt like, what are you doing? You know, this is my visuals. Like, and he's probably not as tall as Laz. Like, are you really gonna talk to this man like this?
Look, Sharon,
you remember how?
I don't know why.
Sharon, only Midnight, right? Only Midnight will be tweaking the height. And
I know, right?
I think he was shorter than Laz. I'm like, really? Like, you looking up to this?
And
man,
it probably, because I don't think I mentioned that. I don't know if I've mentioned their height, but it probably was because Laz is just so intimidating.
Yeah.
So he just comes across as bigger than life.
That's why I just felt like, you know, when I read, it's my story. I'm reading it. So
I love it. Well, boys and girls, if you are just joining us, we are having tea time with author Sharon C. Cooper, Tiffany Jones of Tiff's Happy Place, MidnightAce of MidnightAce Book Bar, guys. And we are talking about Committed of the Atlanta's Finest series, guys. This is Last and a Journey. If you have not read it yet, boys and girls, you still have time. It is an amazing read. And of course, as you know, with all the books in the Atlanta's Finest series, they can be read as standalones. But let me just tell you, you're going to want to read all the books. Any of the books that you are missing, you're going to definitely want to read them as well. And I'll let all three of you guys know if there is a short scene or something that you want to read, feel free to find it. We'll definitely give you guys.
It's not appropriate for Sunday.
Oh, it's not.
Remy. I think his name was Remy.
Remy.
I haven't found it yet, but I think his name was Remy.
A name like Remy is a fast talker anyway. You know,
don't quote me on it, because the only reason I can't remember is because I changed it several times.
Oh,
I had to change it.
First, tell us a little bit about his character, and then tell us about his name change.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he was originally in my outline, but I just needed somebody to just kind of bother Laz a little bit.
Everybody bothers Laz.
Like, what? You needed another person to bother Laz?
Exactly. Everybody bothers Laz.
I think he was tapped out with what was bothering him. Like, Jesus, you almost sent that man into the asylum.
No, right? Yeah, and so I had given him a name. I was hoping I could just kind of pinpoint it right away, but it changed a few times because his character kind of changed. Because at first he was just a detective and, you know, asking questions after the incident. But then I was like, you know, I can use him just to kind of amp up the conflict a little bit. And so I kept changing the name until something kind of fit because he just was not a nice guy. I mean, he might have been a nice guy, but he just didn't like Laz for various reasons. So I needed a name that kind of fit that his new personality, basically. But yeah, he wasn't originally part of the plan. It just kind of it
worked.
Yes, it did. It did. Midnight,
did you see it inappropriate for Sunday? So y'all can move.
No, I'm gonna pass on that one too. His name was Remy. It was Remy.
It was Remy. Okay.
And he was only, and who was the guy who was his partner was actually Laz's friend. And so since Laz had retired, this guy got Remy.
Yeah.
And Lord.
Yeah.
And he went, I don't know. How do you have got to know your predecessor, right? So you got to know your predecessor. So he had to know how crazy Lass is.
Yeah.
He had to know, everybody knew how crazy Lass was about Journey. And what does this man do in the heat of a moment? He comes right up in there and tells him his wife is too much for him. I'm like, look,
Like
this,
she can do
this would have
better.
been me. Right there.
Dang.
Too funny. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But
Midnight,
actually,
I'm gonna turn it over to you. What is another scene that you want to talk about that we haven't talked about, or a character that we haven't talked about?
who?
Another
Midnight.
character.
Oh, Midnight.
Okay. So I'm just gonna go straight to the end.
Okay.
Midnight, don't spoil it for the people.
I
though.
just said okay, so I'm just gonna say I'm gonna go right to the end, and y'all all know what I'm talking about.
We did.
We was not expecting that, so I don't know. That's why I told you I was gonna pass, like, because I had too much. Too much.
Sharon, when you think about Laz and Journey's story, part 2 or what have you, for them, what did you enjoy about this overall book or whatever of bringing Committed to us?
I think the part that I enjoyed most was how I was hopefully able to show how committed they really were.
Oh, you did.
Because they went through different things throughout the story. Because one of my favorite scenes, and it was just a part of the scene that really was the favorite, because when Laz first went into the hospital, he didn't know if whoever attacked him had gone
Attacked Journey.
Yeah. And so he was kind of freaking out. He was mad at her.
He was yelling at everybody
too, though. Because it was Journey. And it was like when she first walked into the hospital room. I think it says something about how she was the most beautiful woman he had ever seen. Yep. You could just see how much he loved her. Yep. But then she said something that he just kind of
snapped out of it.
Yeah.
But it was like, I think that was the part I enjoyed about their story, because there were so many moments where, he was angry or trying to be angry at her, but his love for her, his commitment to her kind of overrode all of their issues. Even when they were talking in their bedroom, and she said, her biggest regret is that she wasn't there for him. She said she wished she would have been there. And he said he was glad she wasn't, because he wouldn't have been able to handle that, knowing
his wife and his daughter
happened to her.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And so it just showed that, he was angry that they couldn't find her, but he was glad in a way that she wasn't there, because he wouldn't have been able to deal with it emotionally.
And I think they both, when you think about them, they, even though they had some moments or what have you, they had a love that ran deep, if that makes sense, or what have you. And that kind of leads me, and I'll let Midnight and Tiffany, you guys can share of how you felt their love was or is for each other, or what have you. But they have that love that definitely runs deep. And sometimes, that it says, sometimes love conquers all. Even though you're going through these things, sometimes they kind of had to pull deep on that love that they have for each other. And it also makes me think about Tiffany. We love a good playlist. Sharon, is there any songs that came to mind with this song? But y'all know I'm going back to Keith Sweat.
Make It Last Forever.
Well, that one too, but y'all remember How Deep Is Your Love?
Oh yeah.
So I had to pull out some Keith Sweat, in my mind or what have you too. But do you guys have a song that comes to mind? Or Sharon, is there a playlist?
I'm not a big, every now and then I'll write a story and there's a playlist. But for this one, I didn't have a playlist.
Okay.
If I did,
I definitely think about Kim and I Can't Stop Loving You.
Ooh,
that's a good one.
Look, okay, Sharon, take notes. I mean, we creating the playlist. That's what we're doing right now. We are creating the playlist. Okay, so we got the Keith Sweat. We got some.
You guys are always creating a playlist.
Yes, we are.
Any song come to mind, girl? Any
it's
song come to mind when it comes
playlist.
to Journey and
Work
Laz.
with us.
I don't usually I mean, songs do come to mind, but that's just not my superpower when I read. The
Yeah.
book is the
And when I
playlist.
write, there's not my
Right. Yeah. So yeah, when we do the radio show, we always have to come up with a playlist. I'm better at it now, but before, when we first started, that was a struggle for me. I can tell you anything about the book. I can break down the book 9 ways to Sunday, but when it comes to the playlist, I'm like, I don't really know, you know. But
And
yeah, that's not mine.
And the funny part about sometimes with the playlist, Midnight and Sharon, and I know Tiffany can kind of relate to this too. Sometimes it could be like you are either in the process of reading the book, or it could be after, and you hear a song and you start thinking about them John Brown characters, and you be like, you know what? That's their song. That's
Yeah.
it's like, you just kind of put the two and two together. Like I said, that song came to mind, Keith Sweat, How Deep Is Your Love, when I think about them. And like I said, and I didn't even think about when Tiffany said Kim's song. Yeah, that's
But I think there's a part of a scene in there. I think Journey either thinks it and says that it's clear that love is not enough. In a relationship, love is not enough. There is just so much. I can't remember where, but I'm almost sure there was a moment where she was thinking that, clearly love isn't enough.
I don't know if you guys ever seen Bosch, the show Bosch. But that their theme song reminded me of Last a little bit. The whole Atlanta's Finest sometimes is because it's this man who is a detective, and even though he stretches the law a little bit, but he doesn't necessarily go overboard. He just kind of stretches the truth a little bit, but he's very committed too, and he was at some of the books that I've read from the Atlanta's Finest, when I hear that theme song from that show, it reminds me of your books and those characters.
I'll have to check the show out. I've never heard of it.
Yeah, it's really good.
Brenda got Jennifer in my mind now. So
Jennifer said "Steady Love," y'all. Oh yes,
that works.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
And we got let's see, "Our Love" by Natalie Cole.
That's stuck in my head now. Like I'm singing it in my head. Ooh, ooh. That one particular part.
Oh my goodness, guys, the time goes by so fast. We have had an amazing time hanging out with author Sharon C. Cooper, guys, talking about Committed. We would definitely be telling you how you can get your hands on a copy of it, as well as all of the books in the Atlanta's Finest series too. And how we're going to do the wrap up, I'm going to allow Tiffany and Midnight to kind of sum up the book in their own words, and of course, or their thoughts of reading the book in their own words. And of course, we will allow Sharon C. Cooper to do the same. And then we'll jump back and we'll allow all of these ladies to kind of tell you how you can stay connected with them, what they have going on next as well. So I will start with you good, Tiffany? So since you're working some things out over there, we'll start with Midnight. Midnight, can you give us your final thoughts of Committed?
Committed was a story that it grabs you right away, and it keeps you engaged from beginning to end. It's an intense book, and even though you can read these as standalones, it is such a better read when you know everything that's going on, because then you'll understand our comments that we made today. So I wholeheartedly recommend this series for you, for your reading pleasure.
I love it. I love it. Tiffany Jones of Tiff's Happy Place. Final thoughts?
Final thoughts on the book, right? Just on the book.
What else, Tiffany?
I'ma just need y'all to prepare yourself. If you haven't read it, I just need y'all to just be prepared to sit and read it in one sitting.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Because once you get sucked in, you don't want to put the book down. And and you get really heavily involved emotionally and mentally. For me, that's how I took it. And if you've been following me you already know how I am, and I think this is the most reactions I've ever given to a book review.
Wow.
And the one that you've read a prologue on.
Oh,
Right. Okay. Midnight.
You know you're never gonna live that one.
I know.
And every
But you
time,
read it though.
every
so that's
time I write a
something.
prologue, I'll
Look,
think of Tiffany.
Look, Sharon, she read it and she didn't even know she was reading it. Okay, so
There you go. So
and my reaction got my mother wanted to read it, so therefore,
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. It's a good book.
I
I'll
love
what
it.
my mother thinks on the side, but it really grabs you right away. Like you don't. I'm telling you, it's gonna be one of those things you just want to sit and read the whole book through. You don't want to stop. It just keeps you involved and engrossed. So
Yes. And I would definitely ditto what Tiffany says. This book, of course, all the books in this series are fire. But it is, like I said, Sharon, she just snatches you right on up in the prologue and it just keep on going, or what have you. But this is an intense read. Like Tiffany said, that it's one of those books that you will not want to put down. Y'all already know, definitely book hangover worthy. Okay. As well. But Committed is an amazing read, boys and girls. You would definitely enjoy. As my girl Midnight say as well. If you are emotional readers like us, you will be emotionally invested. You will have some moments in this particular story, but just hang in there, boys and girls. You gonna come through, okay? You gonna come through because Sharon C. Cooper brings it. Sharon, we're gonna give it to you to give your final thoughts of our discussion today.
My final thoughts. It was a fun book to write. It was definitely a fun book to write. Laz is just easy because it's like anything goes with him. So it makes it easy for me to write about him. One of the things I'm surprised you guys did talk about was Parker.
Well,
look, Sharon, it's you. We can extend it just a little bit. Let's talk about Parker a little bit. Go ahead, Sharon.
I'll make it real quick.
That's what y'all cut me off. You said don't give too many things away, so I couldn't go there.
Oh, I didn't know you were talking about Parker. I thought you were talking about way.
Yeah, I thought you was talking about like
Yeah, I thought you were talking about something else. I didn't know you were talking about
Parker. We got a few more minutes. We can talk about Parker a little bit.
Let's talk about Parker a little bit. I have a couple of people have asked if I'm going to continue the Atlanta's Finest series. I went back and forth. I know I have a story for Parker and for Nelson.
Oh.
I definitely have one for both of them. And then I was thinking, because I had thought about doing a spinoff of Atlanta's Finest, but because it is definitely a series I get many emails off of, I think I'm going to try to keep it going a little bit. Oh. With that said, I think Ian is going to become an Atlanta's Finest. I don't know if you remember him. He was in Tempted, Ashton's story. Is actually Ashton's brother, FBI agent. And so I think he's going to join Atlanta's Finest. I think.
Wait, Mama Tony's comment got me laughing.
Sharon C. Cooper is spilling the tea, boys and girls. Of course, we got to acknowledge Mama Tony. She said, oh, you going to come through after fussing, cussing, being mad, and crying. You going to come through and Committed. I love it. Sharon, thank you for sharing.
Thanks for the tea.
Okay. Yeah. That gives us something to look forward to, because I'm gonna tell you, like, really, the whole entire series is good, but the way you kind of switched up and spiced up between Tempted and Committed, I don't know. I think it's almost like a different series now, like you're doing something different. So I don't know what
changed. I think somebody said I was killing too many people though.
Well, you listen, you was definitely bringing in the body bags in Tempted. And I think only because it was a child involved, maybe you didn't have that many body bags.
Maybe that's
in this one there. I have one little question that I did want to ask about. So the daughter, I went in the beginning of the book, she kept making this reference to that I listened really good. And I kept saying when somebody does something more than once, I always say, okay, this is going to come back later. So was that the end of that that I'm listening with, that when she was, at the shootout? Because I don't know, you highlighted her a little bit, but I was like wondering, are you going to do something else with her?
No.
Okay.
I'm not. When she was saying, about being a good listener. I was setting it up for that scene
Okay.
with the
Okay.
shootout, you know,
Okay.
just so,
And
because
she
most
listened, poor
kids that are
baby.
3 years old, you tell them to sit down, they're going to stand up. So I had to kind of show that, her being a good listener, so she listened to her dad and saved her life, probably.
Yes. Look, and I wanted to share with you guys what Antoinette said. It's kind of like a play on words, a play on the titles. If you guys have read, she said, so you ladies say committed would have us heavily invested.
Right. I like that.
I love that. Invested, guys, if you don't know, that's one of the books in this series as well. Sharon, we are so excited. Thank you for sharing the tea here on Angela's Literary Tea, guys. So you know that we got a few more coming. Books in the Atlanta's Finest.
I don't know when they're coming.
You don't know when, but you can just keep it open, or what have you for that, guys. It has been amazing hanging out with you guys, getting a little bit of tea on Committed. I'm going to allow each one of you guys the opportunity to tell us how we can stay connected with you and what you have going on next. And we will start with you, Tiffany Jones of Tiff's Happy Place.
You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Tiff's Happy Place. If you want to send me an email, tiffshappyplace01@gmail.com. I'm on TikTok as TAJ4599, which I may change to Tiff's Happy Place eventually. What do I have coming up? So most of you know that I've been on this bookish journey for the last year, at least physically and presently, under Tiff's Happy Place. So I'm going to have an anniversary celebration. More to come on that, but be on the lookout for games, surprises, and author takeovers.
I love that. Well, that is
so
awesome, guys. And make sure you are following Tiff's Happy Place, guys. She has some amazing interviews. Definitely be on the lookout for her anniversary of Tiff's Happy Place that's coming up too. We are super duper excited for you, Tiffany. MidnightAce of MidnightAce Book Bar. Tell us how we can stay connected with you and what you have going on, and make sure you mention what I'm holding up. It's not this way because y'all need to see my address, but let's just say I got mine in the mail, and y'all know.
Yeah, I don't even have a copy with me. I feel like I don't want to walk away. But anyway, I am MidnightAce of the MidnightAce Book Bar, and you can find me on mostly social media under MidnightAce Book Bar. That's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest. My website is www.midnightacebookbar. I do have a Twitter account, but I ain't figured that one out yet. So well, we just won't go there right now. But the most exciting thing that is happening right now on the Book Bar is that I produced a book buddy journal. So if most of you all follow me, you know that I'm always telling you when a book comes out, you need to grab you a book buddy, because you need to have that person, a viable person that you can call in the middle of the night to say, oh my God, what were they thinking, kind of thing. So I decided to design a journal that is designed by us, for someone who is just new in making reviews, or that seasoned person who does reviews. You can keep those notes in there. It's meant to be a keepsake for you guys to like put on the shelf. So when we talk like this about Atlanta's Finest, like way down the line, if we want to go to the very first one and invest it, if you got that review already written, you just pull that off the shelf, and then you can go ahead and get into the book.
Brenda got hers.
Yes. So
and Midnight, don't forget to tell them about when it's a series like this. Y'all know how we were like, what's that character name?
Yes.
She got a spot in there, boys and girls.
They're being delivered now. They're making the adoption agency was a success. They're into their new homes. And so when you guys open them up, please tag me in your showing me. And then I want to know what you feel about it, and if there is something else that you need in your book journey. So
I gotta get
Angela for that.
And she sold out, ladies and
yes,
gentlemen.
I woke up this morning with the sold out sign. So, but more are coming. Oh, and I'm gonna be at Raw in October. I'm gonna do the big girl thing. I'm gonna have a table.
Ooh, nice.
I love it. I love it. Well,
thank
Midnight,
you, Antoinette.
congratulations.
Thank you.
We are so excited for you guys. And guys, just because the first batch is sold out, you can still place your order. So you can pre-order, and as soon as they come in, MidnightAce will get the note out to you. Let me just tell you guys, okay? Customer service is top notch, and I'm not just saying this because she's my girl. I went through the process. I had to
Me
do
too.
like you guys, okay?
Me
I
too.
had to place my order. It was super duper smooth. Put my card information in, all that stuff. Guys, now this is the part that took me just over the moon. Okay, so once you place your order, boys and girls, you get a thank you email, and then boys and girls, when it's shipped, you get an email to let you know that your order has been shipped. I was like, oh, okay, Midnight, I see it, girl. So guys, go on over there. Put in the comment section her website where you can go and you can place your order. And again, voila, I already got mine. And it comes in a nice little colorful envelope too. I love that. I love that. So follow MidnightAce, guys. Not only that, and I know she's like, but I gotta give my girl her love. MidnightAce not only sell these book journals, boys and girls, but she have t-shirts and mugs and socks and all things bookish. If y'all have seen my cute little shirt that says I am a book nerd, they got the little glasses in the book, MidnightAce Book Bar. Go ahead and order you one. I got mine. I love it. The material of the t-shirt, the quality of the t-shirt, I absolutely love it. It's so soft. It fits really, really good. Same customer service was top notch. So that's our girl, MidnightAce Book Bar. All right, Sharon C. Cooper, it is your turn, my friend. Tell us how we can stay connected with you and what you have going on next.
All right. Well, you can stay connected with me. You can find all my contact information on my website at SharonCooper.net. You can also find out what I have coming next, books that have just been released, all my social media links, basically everything you can find there. What I have coming up next is a romantic comedy, In It to Win It.
Yes.
That releases December 13th. Yep. And if you're on my, if you're one of my newsletter subscribers, I will be doing a couple of giveaways over the next couple of months. So just want to put that out there. If you're not a newsletter subscriber, I
go subscribe.
Right to the website and subscribing so that you can be a part of the giveaways that I only do. Some giveaways I only do for my newsletter subscribers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Sharon, if I'm not mistaken, it's available on NetGalley.
It is. I assume it still is. Okay. But yeah, if you have a NetGalley membership, I guess, or subscribe to it, whatever however they call it, that book is available on NetGalley for you to request. Also, there's a giveaway going
on Goodreads.
Yes, that's right. I forgot about that. There's a giveaway going on until October 30th on Goodreads. Mm-hmm. And I think the publisher is giving away 10 copies. So
Yes. So boys and girls, there you have it. Be sure to stay in contact with Sharon C. Cooper. You can follow her on social media. You can go to her website, sign up for that newsletter as well, boys and girls. And of course, any of her books that you've read, if you've read Committed or you're getting ready to read Committed, make sure you leave a review. I know that Sharon C. Cooper would be so appreciative. And as well as any of her other books, again, make sure that you guys go and either pre-order. You can definitely get it on NetGalley. Sharon is doing some giveaways. There's a giveaway on Goodreads as well. But guys, you definitely want to read book 2. If you read Business Not As Usual, oh my goodness, which I have told Sharon that there's a scene in there that goes down in the history books of laugh out loud moments or what have you. Again, guys, this is another rom-com coming from Sharon C. Cooper as well. Of course, boys and girls, I'm Angela Anderson of Angela's Literary Cafe, Angela's Literary Tea. Angela Anderson Presents. You can stay connected with me. You can follow me here on Facebook. I am on YouTube. Definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel, boys and girls. Angela Anderson's YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram. I am on TikTok. I'm not on Twitter yet, but that's okay. But I'm in all these other places that you guys can find me as well. And this has been an amazing time. It is always
Thank you, lady.
So fun hanging out.
It was a lot of fun. Tiffany, your mom has a book coming.
Thank you.
I love that. I love that. Guys, if you have already sent stars for the day, thank you. I always appreciate you guys sending stars. If you want to send stars, look down in the comment section. There is like a shooting star. It used to be like a little box like with a star in the middle, but now it looks like a shooting star. Click on that and send how many ever stars that you want. Again, I am so appreciative of that. Thank you guys for showing me that you appreciate the shows that we bring forth to you, bringing you the literary good goods. Guys, that's it. That's our show on today. And as we always say, have an amazing day, because we're having an amazing day. And until next time, guys, we will see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.